Hey, this is Matt Jordan. You're listening to The Barn.
Tired of letting my feelings get the best of my freedom. I'm tired of letting my nightmares get the best of my dreaming. Tired of wasting regret on how far I ain't come. Tired of wasting my breath on things I ain't done. Spend most of 25 years burning down bridges. I guess I had more to prove than I knew what to do with. Yeah, I was born in the fast lane.
Hi, and welcome to The Barn, live from the Barn Studios. You got the Mox in the studio today. Join online right now with a special guest. We have Mr. Matt Jordan, St. Louis's own, or I guess Eureka's own, right? Matt, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing really good. St. Louis is like a very general term in the Missouri area, right?
It is, yeah. I grew up in Eureka, about 40 minutes west of St. Louis, and I live in Wildwood now.
Our studio's in Farmington, Missouri, about an hour, 60 miles south of St. Louis,
okay.
and I still tell people I'm from St. Louis, so...
Yeah, I mean, you get up too far outside of St. Louis and no one knows what you're talking about anyway, so it's easier just to say that, you know?
Really excited. This weekend is a big weekend in St. Louis at the Chesterfield Amphitheater. Awesome venue, by the way. The Open Highway Music Festival, June 16th and 17th. You're playing on Saturday.
Yes, sir, I am. It's going to be a great weekend. The lineup that John and his team have assembled is awesome. I think they did a great job of getting some St. Louis's original artists, and I love that they're fostering that. And then obviously some of the big touring guys, Jason Isbell, Blackberry Smoke. It's a heck of a lineup.
Yeah, I've heard of those guys before.
Yeah, they've been around a little bit.
And I love that about the festival too. And when we spoke to John, we interviewed John last week. He has the St. Louis flavor, you know, a part of the festival, but obviously brings in these big acts and important acts too. I mean, Jason Isbell, I'm a huge fan, and I think he's doing things the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a generational talent when it comes to songwriting, and it's good for St. Louis, you know. And I think what I love about what John's doing with this is I've been in St. Louis for a lot of years doing this music stuff, and there's a lot of really great talent here in town writing songs and stuff, and there's just not a ton of opportunities for local artists to get on stages and play big shows like this. And so it's really an honor and really cool that John is letting a lot of us local guys, you know, be on this with such big names.
Seems like you spend a lot of time in Nashville and obviously playing shows and traveling. But when you are in town, what are some of your favorite places to play? What are some of your favorite shows that you've done locally?
Oh man, we've played a lot of the St. Louis places. I mean, last year we were very fortunate to get to play at the Pageant for the first time on an opening spot there. And the Pageant's got to be my favorite gig ever because it's where I fell in love with live music when I was 14 years old. And so getting to do that, you know, 15 years later or whatever it was, and getting to be on that stage for the first time was pretty special. But played Old Rock House and Delmar Hall and Chesterfield Amphitheater last summer. So there's some great venues in town, and it's been really fun to knock some of those kind of off the bucket list, you know?
Yeah, and the Pageant's one of my favorite places to catch a concert too, and I think it's because it's such a professional production. The sound is always incredible. The lights, they nail. It seems like they're doing it the right way there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good team down there. Their production team's incredible. I mean, we came in with, you know, no light designer or light tech when we were playing that show, and most venues just kind of turn on some stage lights and leave them. And the guy working at the Pageant, I can't remember his name now, but he gave us a whole light show, man. No planning for it. He didn't know what songs we were going to play, and he did the real deal. It was really cool.
Do you ever get approached by people that are surprised that you are a local guy? You know, sometimes you play shows and they think that maybe you're on the touring package or part of the tour?
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens sometimes, and that's not like to toot my own horn. We just have been very fortunate to get to open for some pretty big names in the last, 18 months. And so usually if you're opening for a big name and you're playing your own songs, I think people are going to assume that you're on the road with them, you know? And so, yeah, we get that sometimes. And it's always fun when we're playing in St. Louis, opening at the Pageant or Delmar Hall or whatever. And I say, hey, I'm from here. People always like to find new local artists, I think, so it's fun when that happens.
With all this, what I'm kind of been calling like regional prideship in Americana, country music, whatever you want to call it, the Texas country and Nashville and even like Appalachian. I always love Midwest guys. We actually just spoke to Logan Mize. He's a Kansas country singer. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
He's great. Yeah.
But like what I love about it, it does have that sort of John Mellencamp feel, small town, Midwestern kind of thing. And I know that's part of your sound as well.
Yes, sir. I call it Heartland Rock. Because that's the stuff I grew up on. It was Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, John Mellencamp, Jackson Browne, Bob Seger. And my hypothesis is that if any of those guys were coming out today as new artists with the same sound, they would be considered country based on our definition of country today. And so, yeah, I call it Heartland Rock. I think it's what a lot of guys in the Midwest are doing. And I kind of see a little revival happening in that space. But we've kind of found our home in country music, which is awesome. I mean, country media and playlists and shows have embraced us and included us in that company. But I think it's kind of a subgenre of country that I call Heartland Rock.
Can I quote you on that real quick?
Absolutely.
I believe you said, to me, country music is just story songs. I think if Bruce Springsteen and John Mellencamp was coming out today, they would be considered country artists. Their genre has kind of gone away. And I could not agree more. That's why I pulled that quote. I agree.
Yeah, and that's it, man. I think that there's been this whole debate in country music in the last, 10 or 15 years of, well, this isn't country and it's like, you can't, I don't think anyone has the authority or the right to say what is or isn't country. I think that country is a very broad brushstroke, big bucket genre. It has a lot of subgenres, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But to say that, Kit Moore isn't country or something like that, but Zach Bryan is, it's like, oh, I see country in both those guys. They just have different influences,
Sure. Your bio said that you majored in business. Do you think that's helped you in your career, your music career, and how?
Yeah, I did. I majored in business, and I worked in business for a lot of years before I was able to go full-time music. And I do think it has been beneficial. I mean, I think that something that everyone says, but not everyone lives out, is that the music industry is a business, And what we have to remember is that our music is just the product. We still have to figure out how to get it in front of people. There's marketing and sales and promotion, and there's accounting. I run my own books, and I gotta be, at least somewhat savvy financially to handle all that and make sure I'm not missing things. And I think it's really beneficial to have that experience, like real world experience in business, and kind of know how to do some of that stuff, because it's kind of a one-man operation on the music side. Now, obviously I got a team, I got publicists and a great band and stuff like that. But as far as running the business goes, a lot of that lands on me. And so, yes, I think that it's been really beneficial to have that education and that real world experience.
Do you think there's pros and cons to that? He's talking about everything landing on you. I mean, you get to make the choice, the final choice, which is probably a good thing. But then a lot of you end up, carrying a lot of the burden as well. Yeah,
it's definitely pros and cons. I mean, from a creative standpoint, it's awesome to be the one steering the ship, because I get to write the songs I want to write and release them if and when I want to, and I don't have anyone telling me how to do that, But yes, there's a lot of things that go into it as well. I don't like accounting. I don't like numbers, so I don't enjoy that side of it. I prefer not to have to make TikToks all the time and things like that, but it's got to be done. It's just a big part of the machine, and you kind of just have to play the game a little bit, And anyone who says, "Oh, I just want to put music out and just good music, that's what I'm doing it for," like, that's great if that's really it, but there's a business side to it, and someone has to do that work if you really want to have a shot at it,
Let's get into the songs a little bit, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
You care if I play a couple?
No, go for it.
I probably look like hell, I don't feel any better. Rolling in and out of town, just like a patch of weather. I do 90 through a speed trap like a bullet through the night. Flip the bird and never look back. No time for thinking twice. I've gotten good at getting long gone. Don't try and prove me wrong. This hello headlights, goodbye review. Won't you in the dust? I ain't hung up over you. Yeah,
That's Anyone But Me. Tell us a little bit about Anyone But Me.
Yeah, that's the newest single. Just came out about 2 weeks ago, I guess. That's a song that I had that idea for a long time, and started writing it by myself last fall and had some lyrics that I liked a lot, but it was kind of this real singer-songwriter acoustic thing, and took it to my buddy Jarrett Hartness, who I write a lot of songs with, and I kind of showed him what I was doing, and he was into it, and we started writing some verses around that chorus, and the lyrics we were writing were just a little bit more edgy than the vibe I had written. So it kind of stripped it back and restarted the music and ended up rocking it out a bit. But, that song's about being restless, and I write a lot about that. I'm a restless dude, which I don't think is inherently a bad thing. But I think when it's pointed or aimed at the wrong people or things, it can cause bridges to burn that don't need burning and things like that. And so it's kind of this internal battle that I always am fighting against myself, of trying to strike that balance of being content with where I'm at and also not settling into complacency and not striving for more, and that's kind of what that song's about to me.
You also released sort of behind the scenes or behind the story of the song video on it, which I always love. I love when artists pull back the curtains a little bit, because I know as an artist, maybe you would want your music or your message or your lyrics to be interpreted however the person would want them, because people might take songs different. But to actually hear what the song's about from the artist, I think is always refreshing. So I love that you released that video.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm going to do that for the rest of the songs coming out this year. And that's why I do it. There's something in the, you want to give the songs to the listeners and let them make it their own song. But I do think it's cool as a fan, as a listener myself, when I can kind of hear what the writer and what the artist was thinking when they were writing a song, what it means to them. And I can still interpret it my own way, but it's just, it is a cool behind the scenes thing to kind of get in their brain a little bit. And that's what I'm trying to do with those videos. And that's the beauty of music, I think, that, everyone kind of gets to make the song what it means to them. I mean, that goes as far as the co-writers. There's a song that I released a couple years back called Outskirts of Grace that I wrote with my buddy Charlie Berry. And Charlie and I wrote that song together in the same room on the same day. And we have both very different ideas of what that song means to us. Even as the writers, we weren't entirely clear we didn't necessarily agree on what the lines meant, and I think that's a cool thing about music is everyone kind of plugs a song into their personal experiences and relates it accordingly. And I think it's a really beautiful thing.
I totally agree. And it's interesting because throughout my life, songs have changed even meaning. Because of maybe I experienced something different or a loss of somebody, or, I have daughters now, so it might have changed the song meaning or the song feels differently. So, I mean, music's just so important to, the world, I think, and in people's personal soundtracks. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's sort of the soundtrack of your life.
No, that's the truth, man. It's not cheesy. It's just, most memories, most kind of core or major memories in my life, there's a song or a couple songs or at least an artist that can take me back to that time. And I can immediately say, I was listening to this when I graduated high school or what have you, or when I got married or whatever it is, and it's a just cool thing that just kind of transcends time and experiences. And I love that about music.
Can we hear my favorite Matt Jordan song?
All right.
Tired of letting my feelings get the best of my freedom. Tired of letting my nightmares get the best of my dreaming. Tired of wasting regret on how far I ain't come. Tired of wasting my breath on things I ain't done. Spend most of 25 years burning down bridges. I had more to prove than I knew what to do with. Yeah, I was born in the fast lane.
Man, it's hard to cut it off right there, but would you be sitting here all day, right? Tell us about Runaway Heart.
Oh, man, it's kind of the same story as Anyone But Me, but it's a little bit more of an emotional side of it. The way I talk about my restlessness, I'm married with 3 kids now, and the music thing it's not always easy on that, it's a lot of traveling, a lot of late nights and early mornings and things like that. And it's always hard to say goodbye to my wife and my kids when I'm going on the road or heading to Nashville or whatever. And I think that Runaway Heart song was kind of like a letter to myself, almost asking myself like, hey, could you just slow down and smell the roses a little bit? You got it good. And, you're always looking for the next big thing. And for me, the way I've put it before is I'm not a guy who believes the grass is always greener on the other side, but I am the kind of guy who's like, but I need to look over the fence and find out for sure,
Right.
before I settle into this. It's just, there's always this wondering in me. It's like, what else is out there? And that's a tricky thing sometimes to navigate as a married man and a dad, because I've got everything I could possibly ask for. And there's still this part of me that wants to go do this thing and chase something bigger and something else and have a new adventure. And that song's probably the most personal song I've ever released, honestly.
It's a great song. We can't wait to hear it.
Thank you.
We can't wait to hear it this weekend at Open Highway Music Festival, June 17th, Chesterfield Amphitheater. And you will be playing on the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis stage. And we can't wait to be there. The barn will be in the building, and we will be in attendance happily. And Matt, can't wait to meet you in person, man. Loving your stuff, and proud that you're representing St. Louis the way you are.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm tired of letting my feelings get the best of my freedom. I'm tired of letting my nightmares get the best of my dreaming. Tired of wasting regret on how far I ain't come. Tired of wasting my breath on things I ain't done. Spent most of 25 years burning down bridges. I guess I had more to prove than I knew what to do with. Yeah, I was born in the fast lane, so I'm used to goodbye. And I've yet to find something that I can't leave behind. 'Cause I got this runaway heart that drags me around. Skipped every sidewalk crack of every unlucky town. I'm trying to get my feet onto some solid ground. I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying to slow down. Guess I never saw you coming with these wandering eyes. The world revolved around me, but I swore it'd be different this time. I thought I could keep a promise to a faithful heart like you. Leave it to me to go and lose it if there's something to lose. I got this runaway heart that drags me around. Skipped every sidewalk crack, every unlucky town. I'm trying to get my feet onto some solid ground. I'm trying to slow down.